Hello, my name's Patricia Brower from the Share and Show Your Business Podium and Podcast. Today, we are interviewing Buzz T and Little Hang and their new albums, dual albums. The first album for Buzz T is called Worldwide Flows, and the album for Little Hang is called New World. I'm going to bring them on the line now and we can get the conversation started. Here's Buzz T and Little Hang. So then I will introduce you, say this is Buzz T from Nonstop Productions, correct? Their
Okay.
dual album, correct?
Yeah.
I'm asking you correct because I want to make sure I get it right next time. Okay. Nonstop Productions and how you came about. Tell
Well,
us who you are.
basically, I'm Buzz T. I ended up starting my own record business because difficulty, getting a record deal. So instead of waiting and waiting and waiting, I just took the steps to learn the whole entire business by myself, So it was basically, I got tired of waiting around for a record deal. I took a CD, looked at it and said, I could do this. So I took the whole CD from the music to the writing the lyrics to putting it in a CD case to copywriting it, everything that you had to do to basically put yourself out. So that's why I started a company.
And
And
your
my
album, how'd you come about doing your album?
this
Album? Your album.
this latest album, Worldwide Flows, or my first album?
Yes, your album now.
My album now, Worldwide Flows, and
Yeah.
Lil Hang, New World. Basically, it was a situation during COVID where we were stuck in the house, couldn't go anywhere, and Little Hang was interested in starting his music career. So we just had plenty of time because we were all trapped in the house due to COVID, and we started making tons of music. Then we decided to, more serious about it and step up our game in the music business. And so as the music got better and better, we just thought that we should be able to send it out so, fans could listen to it.
Mm-hmm. And Little Hang, can you tell us about your album and how you got started?
I started music when I was 11, playing rock music and had a lot of influence on that. And then as I got older, I met Buzz T, and then he put me on to hip hop. And then I took all these songs I made and put them in a compilation for an album.
Okay. And so you said,
which is also named New World.
Okay. You said that you played music prior to meeting Buzz T in hip hop. What type of music was it prior to him?
It's more rock, punk, and alternative.
All right, so I'm trying to go to the next question. My internet is going in and out.
I don't know how much you're going to get out of this one, Pat. We might need to redo it, but if you get something,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. We can,
is it okay to continue on though?
Yeah, we'll continue on. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, who is your audience?
Okay. Do you want us to both answer that individually?
Sure. For your album, who is your audience?
I would say my audience is more for people that want to hear some content in their music. Basically for the real people, the people that are just real people that are really into art, into positivity, and to listening to something that could inspire them. More for people that with goals and dreams. I would say my fans are. What about you, Lil Hang?
Okay.
My audience, it's more my age range, between the teenagers and maybe some adults. It just gives them a safe space to listen to really good music.
Okay. Next question I have, where can we buy your music? That's the question.
Okay, where can we buy your music? We can buy our music on any social platform that you choose. We have a website, www.buzztandlittlehang.com. We have Amazon, we have Apple Music, Spotify, Reverb Nation. We do have a distribution deal, so you can just Google us, search us, find the music just about anywhere.
Okay. So they can buy music by just Googling your name, Buzz T, or your album.
Just by the name.
Okay. So by
Mhm.
Little Hang, they can find your music to buy
Yes.
on all social media. Okay.
Yes.
So BuzzT and littlehang.com is where we can find their information plus all social media, as I mentioned. Um,
Mhm.
Next question is, where have you performed? Have you performed anywhere, either of you, in the past? And tell us where.
Yes. Lil Hang has done some local shows at, being 16, he's done some different parties and different shows locally. Me, I've performed just about everywhere. Schools, festivals, bars, you name it, I probably performed there. So a lot of performances under my belt, and Lil Hang has a few also.
Okay. Any most memorable places for you all that you performed that stuck out, or something special happened, or
My probably one of the most special, there was probably two that stuck out in my head. One was when I did the Columbus International Festival. I had about 20 break dancers with me, and after the show, there was probably about, I don't know, 1,000 kids came up and wanted me to teach them how to break dance and be a part of that. So I like that. The other one, I
that's
did a
cool.
show at Columbus East High School, and it was a situation where I did a song about using, birth control and protection and things like that. And, sometimes after the show, you may get a giant round of applause, but you may send a positive message and help some kids out. So I feel like I had a big effect at that show. I think that's what I'd always remember there.
Cool. And what about you, Little Hang?
Well, I would say, Little Hang is just at the beginning of his performance review,
Okay.
because we've just put together an album. So he's just heading into his professionalism as far as that. More shows to come.
Okay. So T, the name of your album is called what again?
Worldwide Flows.
And what song are you pushing to be the single right now?
When you make albums, you hope you're making each song to your best. You can do certain things to get certain feedback, and of course, with me, I like all my songs, but the two I'm pushing right now are Purple Plain and Dreams. Those are two of the cuts on the album I'm pushing right now.
So here's where I asked if you could play like 30 seconds of your song so we can get a glimpse of what your music sounds like. Would you be willing to do that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Which song are you going to choose?
Okay. I'll go with Purple Plain.
Okay.
Buzz T. I'm coming with that Euro flow. Yeah. Now I'm in England. I'm about to explode. I'm driving down the left side of the road. I'm chilling with Lil Hang. We in our European mode. We in our European mode. Now I'm in England. We're about to explode. I'm driving down the. There we go.
Okay. So that was Purple Plain. Can you tell us how Purple Plains or Purple Plain?
Purple Plain.
Is it an S on the end or
No.
Purple Plain? Can you tell us more formulating that song?
Yeah, basically, with that song, Lil Hang's half British, so we wanted to go to England. He hadn't seen his family in about 3 years. So we flew from Columbus to New York, and it was the first time I got on Virgin Airlines. And when we got on the plane, they had a bunch of LED lights on the plane. And So I basically, from that point, started telling the story about, my trip to England. It was my first time going abroad. So that's where the whole, it's like a journey from flying from Columbus, Ohio to England.
Okay, cool. So Little Hang, I want to hear a little bit of your song. Is that okay? What song are you going to display for us today?
I'm going to be displaying Now or Later.
Now or later? Okay, can we hear 30 seconds?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Hangman Beats bringing the heat.
Now or later. Don't be a hater. And don't be a hater. It's now or later. Now or later. It's now or later. And don't be a hater. And don't be a hater. Now or later.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And tell us how you came about producing that song. How did it formulate for you?
It started with like a freestyle off of like some song. I was like, I heard a beat somewhere. I was like, now or later. And then from there, I just kind of formed the song.
Okay, well, way cool. So, guys, what are short dual album? First of all, before I ask that, to know how did y'all come about doing a dual album together?
It kind of started out with like I had an album, Buzz T had an album, and then Buzz T came to me and said, "Hey, we should join our albums together."
Yeah, it was basically like we were doing everything else together. So it was like,
Okay,
why would we drop both these albums at the same time? We reached out to you, Brower Entertainment, and you start talking about a press release. So we was like, well, for a press release, you got to have something to release. So we said, why don't we just go ahead and drop both our albums at the same time? And then last week we dropped 2 new videos at the same time. A Lil Hang's video, Now or Later, and my new video, Dream. So it's just something that nobody else really ever did. I don't believe. I'm trying to think of an artist or any artist that dropped, from the label at the same day. I know some artists drop stuff at the same day. I think Kanye dropped something at the same time as somebody before, but I can't really remember all the way. So it just kind of made sense.
yeah. What's been your experience thus far with dropping a dual album to the public? What's been their response?
Yeah, I think it's exciting and different, so it catches a lot of people's attention.
Joking a little bit, but can you expound on that a little more? Like, what makes it exciting?
Well,
I'm just getting your text. Yes, we can hear.
I think anytime that
what makes it exciting?
I think people get excited in general when you're sending positive vibes at them. I mean, it's kind of like the albums are both positive, smooth, good music. It's always nice to expect something good, right? So I think that's the thing that is, right now, I think in days and times, there's so much negativity that you can kind of come to expect it, right? But so the thing is with the two albums and their directions, it's fresh and new, it's different than what's going on in the world right now. So I didn't know I was going to name my song Worldwide Flows and he was going to name his song New World, but when we came up with the ideas at the same time, it was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Good. So I have a few more questions. One is I ask about your short-term goals. What is your short-term goals with what the products you have out now?
Digital distribution, which, we've got that and the level can only rise up from there. Videos, we wanted to get some visual effect, which we've done that. Maybe to get more views on our videos would be good. The radio airplay, that's always good. I mean, today it kind of seems like the cream will rise to the top. It's, if everybody's getting a fair shot with this digital distribution, then you got to pick the best music, you know, because everybody's out there right
Yeah.
now. You got to pick. So it kind of gives like the underdog a chance now. If you just make some super hot fire, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're an independent artist, major label. It's who, you know, everybody's got a fair chance to rise to the top, or to whatever your goal is, to get your music out there. To It's kind of wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to show your album. I think I have that in my list here. Let me pull it up. I just want people to see what your album cover looks like. If I could maneuver this computer. So while I'm trying to do that, what is your long-term goals overall for your career, your album? What's your hopes and dreams for both of you all?
Go ahead, Lil Hank.
Individually on your album.
Personally, I want my music to go platinum.
I want a Grammy, personally. That's what I really want, you know. Sure, it'd be great to have, you know, tons of money and do all those other great things, great big shows, whatever the case may be. But a Grammy is, you know, just one of my personal goals I always had.
There we go. At least that works. Okay, so my last question would be about the show, your business. Did billboard advertising for you all? I wanted you to share your experience with how you felt about the billboard advertising service that we offer. Do you feel that it helped you? How do you feel about that? I know you chose Chicago to do your billboards, right? Did you feel like it was effective? Or just share your honest opinion on that, the billboard advertisings that we did for you all. Buzz T.
I feel that I'm sure it did, but it's not like you can drive by the billboard yourself and see what kind of effect it would have. But I think any type of marketing or advertising, I thought the billboard was fair with the cost. Yes. So why not go for that, you know?
Why'd you choose Chicago?
I chose Chicago because it's one of the biggest markets in the United States. And we're in the Midwest, so that's pretty much our biggest music market, closest to us. So that's why we went with Chicago.
Okay.
Plus, I like Chicago.
Well, I just wanted to. You like Chicago?
Yeah. I like deep dish pizza, and I like Coney dogs, or you know, I like Chicago. I like the lake and everything. The people are nice. So,
is there anything else you like to mention before we close out this? First of all, if you all can shout out your handles, you know, where they can find you, a couple places can find you, or got going on next, or hi to somebody, whatever you like to say to close out the show.
You can find all our music on YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify.
I like to say world peace, world peace. You know, buy a record. Buy a record, support. You know, support us, we'll support you. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so this will end the broadcast for the Share and Show Your Business Podium and Podcast. Thank you.